Hello, you guys. Good morning. I'm heading to classes right now and study hours before my quiz for today. But I wanted to share something with you guys that just ran across my mind as I was thinking of the tactics of the enemy. One of Satan's biggest tactics to use against believers and non believers is to act like he isn't a threat or to make himself unknown to you. To explain that even further, especially for unbelievers, Satan doesn't want you to know that he truly exists. And if anything, he wants you to doubt his existence altogether. The reason for that is because either way, like every day, you are doing the will of someone, either the will of God or the will of the devil. Of course, the will of God is for us to be in union with him and to spend our eternity with him all together and for us to be prosperous and live joyfully on this earth and carry out the gospel. Satan, however, is to stumble humanity altogether, to doubt God's goodness and to not spend eternity with God, but to spend eternity in damnation and accusing us, of course, of our sin and pointing it out to the Father. His main purpose here is to steal, kill, and destroy believers, unbelievers, altogether. So why that is such a clever tactic for him is because if you don't think something is a threat and you underestimate something, you've basically given it authority to rule over you. You're not seeing it as something that needs to be taken care of. So you're gonna brush it off. You're gonna think that, oh, it's not even something I should be worried about. And I remember when I wasn't saved, and of course, I was like, the neutral team is still Satan's team, you guys. It's still his team. It's either one or the other. It's no in between. You can't just think that, oh, I'm just going to step out the fight between, good and evil. It doesn't have an effect on me. It does. I remember there is this one video across the internet. Basically, it's like this man, Satan, Jesus, an offense. And he was like, okay, if I just sit in between, then I'll get the good of both. Like I'll get both Satan, I can have my sinful nature, but I can also get the goodness of God. And basically the video, excuse me, y'all. The video basically, it cut off in this darkness. And the man was like, bro, what happened? Where's Jesus? And Satan was like, that fence was mine. That is the thing. If you don't know the enemy, that's the greatest military tactic altogether. Why do you think people are trying to sneak around in enemy territory? They're trying to make themselves unknown because you can do so much damage in the unknown to someone. Like, let's say I was hypothetically in like a jungle, and there's a tiger creeping up on me, but I don't even know the tiger is there. I'm defenseless. I'm clueless. I'm not prepared, and I'm defenseless. That is the perfect, one of the most perfect stances for us to be in for the enemy. He's looking at us like, oh, I can perfectly get them. So even if you think that Satan isn't real, you're still going to do his will anyway. Because his will for you is to not know Jesus and to not know his tactics. So he can just keep using his tactics against you over and over and over and over again. And you don't even know you're a slave to him. You don't even know you're being attacked. So it's like prey getting eaten alive and they're brain dead. They don't even know they're being eaten alive. First, if you don't think there's an enemy, how could you be saved altogether? If you don't even think there's a threat to begin with? Oh, okay, I'm fine. There is no threat to life. It's all the other beliefs on the internet. I like crystals, magic, and stuff like oneness and the earth and the spirits and stuff like that. If you think, and by the way, y'all, that is demonic. That is demonic. Anything other than the gospel, demonic. Don't care. Because you're thinking, what is there? What am I being saved for? I'm in no danger. There is no need for a savior if there is no existence of an enemy. Satan wants you to underestimate him. Satan wants you to think he doesn't exist so he can still have the grip on you and your life and honestly your soul and your entire afterlife. He wants to still have that grip on you because if you're blinded, that's his grip. He has a claim over you because You'd underestimate him. You think he doesn't exist, and he wants you to stay in that area, because if you stay in that area, he still has power over you. And if he still has power over you, and you over here believing that there is no savior, there's no need to be saved because there's no threat to begin with, your eternity with Jesus it's unrealistic at this point. This is one of his biggest tactics that, one, us believers need to know, two, to help unbelievers in the world and to preach the gospel even further. If people do not believe that there is an enemy to begin with, how can they believe there is a savior? They're going to look at Jesus like, oh, okay, he's a cool guy, he's doing this and that, but there's no real need for him because I'm not endangered. I'm fine.